What is up, everyone? Welcome back to 2GZ Garage. Today we're going to be doing something that Tina has been needing quite a long time. As you guys know, I have a 22RA which is fully built and boosted with a massive turbo. Some of the issues that I am having is cooling issues. Right now I have a 3-row aluminum radiator which helped cool the engine tremendously, but the problem I'm having is my cooling fan is like a regular cheap eBay one, and it's just not cooling it enough. It doesn't blow enough air and it just doesn't cool the system well. So what I have now is what I should have gotten in the first place, which is a Spal 16-inch radiator fan. This thing is, I believe it's 1500 if not 1800 CFM. I don't remember exactly. I'll put it up on the screen, but I'll put the link to this in the description. I did order it off of summitracing.com. I got my GoPro here. I'm gonna try to give you guys some nice POV footage. And next to that, I have the Spal wiring harness kit. This is the harness kit to activate the fan at 185 degrees and deactivate it at 165 degrees. One issue that I think I'm gonna have is finding a port to put that sensor. I might have to take out my temperature sensor that I have now going into the truck, and I have to use that port. I'm gonna turn the key on real quick too, so you guys can hear how this fan sounds versus how the Spal one's gonna sound. It should pull a lot more air. We'll see. So let me turn on the key real quick. One of the reasons why I got that wiring kit is because right now, the moment I turn the ignition, you can listen. The fan kicks on. So I want to have the fan come on only when it needs to come on, not all the time. But look, you can hear this fan now. It blows a pretty good amount of air, but it's just like not enough. I have the turbo water cooled now, so there's more heat going into the cooling system. So I just need this thing to be as cool as possible. Right now I'm running it without a thermostat, which could be a bad thing also because it doesn't have time to cool all the coolant in the radiator. It's just going through the system continuously, and the thermostat is not like closing it out so it can have enough time to cool in the radiator. So I'm going to install this fan, and then I'll also be installing the thermostat back on after the fan, but I'm going to see what the temperatures are before I do that. Let's take this old fan out. All I have are these like small little, I believe they're 10mm if not 8 bolts. There's 4 of them all the way around, and then this thing should come out. Obviously I gotta unplug it. I might as well take out the whole shroud. Screw it. Alright. We got a ground there and stuff, so we want to make sure we don't forget about that. But anyways, I'm gonna be changing all this harness, so that doesn't matter. The Milwaukee right now will be perfect. Be so much quicker. Alright, second bolt's out. Might be easier this way anyways, but alright, third bolt's out. And grab the fan in case it wants to fall. Alright. That should be it. Yep. Alright, it looks like I need to take out my radiator hose and my intercooler pipe. I gotta drain some coolant. There you go. Got that coolant draining out. I needed it just enough so I could take this hose off. I recently flushed it and swapped out the coolant, so it looks really clean, which is good. Coolant's drained. Now I'm gonna get the 5/16 so I can take off this clamp. Every time I do POV videos, the angle is never good, which sucks. That's why I don't do them much, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to get away with not taking off the intercooler pipe and try to work my way around it. I fought with it for a little bit. You can see the fan shroud was out. I had to wiggle it out. It was really tight, but I got it out. Now I gotta take off these 4 bolts. I already took one off, and then I can put the new one on. But before I do that, I'm gonna put them side by side. You guys can see the difference in the way they look and all that stuff. 12 volt, 120 watts fan. If you guys want it, hit me up. $700. Alright, so now that this thing is off, you can see it has a bunch of water spots over the time that it's been on the truck. So I'm just gonna try to clean all this up. You can see how dirty it is. So let's see how good I can clean it. Been cleaning it for a little bit, and you can see I got it really nice and clean. It's not perfect. It's still wet and stuff. It's still got some spots if you look up close, like some of those deep spots I wasn't able to get off, but overall it looks way cleaner, way nicer. If I put this side to side next to the other one, you can see the size of the engine or the size of the motor, way bigger. And this one is actually much heavier. There's the difference there. You can see Spal. This is real deal. This is the good stuff, made in Italy. Look at that. All right, so I'm trying to put this fan on. The holes did not line up for the existing bolts, so I have to re-drill them. I already marked them up with the Sharpie. I don't even need to use these extra clips and tabs, which sucks because that was like 12 bucks. So before I put that fan back on, now that it's a lot easier to access the ports and wire up everything, I'm gonna go ahead and put that wiring harness on. This is everything that is included in the wiring harness kit. This is the relay and the harness going to the fan, all that good stuff. And we got a fuse wire here and an adapter. So I am gonna have to take off my temperature sensor and put this into that place. This is my sensor, or I guess you could say my temperature switch, which is gonna activate and deactivate the fan. It did come with instructions on how to wire it all up. Basically, you just gotta follow these instructions with a single fan, and it should be pretty straightforward. Following this diagram, you can see from the relay, the yellow wire coming out of it is the one that goes to the positive terminal of the battery, which is the thickest wire. That's power. The red one is the fan positive, that goes to the fan. On the fan, the black wire goes to ground. On the relay, it's the gray wire, goes to the sending unit. This one, it goes to the sensor. Orange goes to the ignition, so the orange one in the back over here. It's pretty straightforward, you just gotta follow the diagram. I'm gonna try to wire this into the bay and try to make it look as clean as possible. I have to take out my existing one. It was just like all rigged up and it's rough, but it worked. Now we're gonna swap it out and put the proper system. I pretty much got everything nice and hooked up. I just followed the diagram and it told me everything to do. I got my fuse for the positive wire going here. You can see my fuse right there. And then the wire that gives a signal to activate, the gray wire right there going to the sensor. I had to take off my temperature sensor and I put that switch in place, so that's how that goes. And I got it running the AC lines going through here right to the bottom. It's a mess of wire right now. I just want to make sure everything functions properly. I'm gonna put the pipe back on and the radiator hose, fill it up with coolant, and we'll crank it up and let it get up to temperature and see if this thing activates. You can see how close it is to the belt in the fan, and on this side too, how close it is to the water pump. It's pretty close. I already filled the truck up with coolant and all the wires and everything's hooked up correctly. One thing that I did not do is hook up an external switch. That is an optional thing, but I think I will end up doing it later. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start the truck. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get up the temperature. It's probably gonna take a while. It has to get to 185 degrees for this thing to activate. So we'll start it up and let it warm up and see what happens. Okay, I didn't even have to go for a drive. The truck's been idling for a little bit and it's almost up to temp. It's already at 78. In Fahrenheit, to get to 185 degrees, it has to be 85 degrees Celsius. So I need to see 85 degrees Celsius here for that fan to activate at 185 degrees Fahrenheit. 185 activate is pretty high, to be honest, for me. I would like it to activate a little sooner, probably like 170. Should be activated now. It has yet to activate. It's getting pretty hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. It's at 88 degrees now. Not sure why the fan hasn't activated. Should have activated. Okay. As you can hear, the fan is on. It's activated. I found the issue. It did get a little warmed up. It is very loud, but the problem was the fuse. You look at that fuse, it's toast. I'm not sure why, but the fuse blew. Maybe when I was installing it, I touched ground or something, but now it's working fine. Very strange. But the fan is activated and it is extremely loud. And it blows a ton of air, way more than the last one. Now it's off. So now I'm gonna let it get back up to temperature and then see if it activates again, which it should. The fan should activate any second now. It's at 83, about to be 84 degrees Celsius. There you go, it just activated. Oh, shut off. Probably a lot of juice. Turn off the AC and all that. There it is. There you go. We did it, boys! I'm gonna go ahead and take Tina for a good cruise and see how it performs, if it performs cooler, better. I do know that the fan blows a lot more air than what the last one was doing. So it should perform a lot cooler. Hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big fat thumbs up. If you have any questions on how to do the install or anything, be sure to comment down below and share with your friends. If you guys don't have me on Instagram, go and check all that stuff out at 2GOZ, and you can see all the daily stuff I post. I try to post daily, but sometimes I can't. Super happy that I finally got this fan installed. This is a thing that has been well overdue. But yeah, peace out, and I'll see you guys soon.